Hey everybody, Chonky here. Going to be doing a run through of the Crypt of Horrors on Nightmare. Just going through my stats really quick just to show you what I'm working with. I'm not running the new weapon set that came out with Icy Depths. I haven't had enough time to farm the new fragments. Here's my heroism points. Alright. I am going to try and cover as many enemies and bosses as I can. I think I know where pretty much all of them are. One nice thing about the beginning portion right here is there's a little camp coming up, and there's 2 chests in this tent, and they actually drop a good amount of equipment. So early game, if you're struggling, like if you just beat normal and you get to hard, you can rush this tent and like go back to town and reload it to try and get some decent equipment rolls at the beginning of a new difficulty. I'm also going to try and break as many objects as I can to show you how easy it is to fill up your inventory. It's really easy to farm money and essence if you want. I'm pretty much just going to sell everything I pick up because I pretty much have all the essence I need. So in this dungeon, in terms of secrets, there's quite a few hidden walls. There is a boss hidden behind a secret door mechanic, and there's one skip to a boss I'll show you later. And there's probably the biggest, most annoying floor. Has actually a nice straight path to the end if you know the route. I'll show you that too. So this first area, you're just going to go down these separate hallways and look for the levers. Put to sleep. So there's the lever over there on the wall. You're going to see me hit a lot of walls. I just do it out of habit. Alright, and now we've opened up the way to the first boss. Oh. Discord. Got turned around for a second. Whoop. So this first boss isn't too difficult. He's like a wolf master, so he'll summon wolves periodically, and they do stun you, they knock you down.
Rally the pack.
And then once you beat the wolf master, the remaining wolves will come out and attack you. His arena is also bigger than this. There's hallways on the side that has extra loot. I'll show you. just over here, just a couple extra enemies and some drops. I would recommend getting as many of the barrels and boxes and equipment racks as possible, especially if you're earlier levels in the game, because you can get a lot of dungeon and class fragments that way. Not necessarily class fragments, but like, you know, the dungeon fragments, Dark Moon, Hollowed, Kieranit. And there's another section over here as well. It's got a little hidden wall as well. Oh my gosh. I do plan on releasing a run-through of each dungeon as they come out. So right now there are 5 dungeons. After I release this one, I'm going to work on the next ones. These wolves, man. At least they go down pretty quick. Okay, so that's the first little boss area. So this area has that skip that I mentioned before. So first I'm going to show you all the pathways that would be the normal route. So you're going to do more levers. That way is where you want to go with it. So do this part second or first. So this floor actually has 3 levers, whereas the last one had 2. So that way, straight ahead to the boss. To the right you saw those swinging blades. That's the shortcut. And we're not going to go that way just yet. Okay. That should open up the way to the boss. Couldn't remember if I touched the lever or not. Okay, so like I said, the swinging blades is a shortcut. We're not going to go that way just yet. So there's the boss. I'm gonna grab these items real quick, and then I'll show you the shortcut. So we're gonna go, oh yeah, forgot about this room, the end of this hallway. Some extra loot. And then another secret wall. Most of the times in this area, the hidden walls will just have like a little room with some extra loot. Nothing too crazy. I still think it's fun though. The rooms tend to have a bit of character. I always check the walls. You never know, one might be secret. Even though you've hit it 100 times before. Okay, so, like I said, there's the boss. Now I'll show you the shortcut. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. So this room looks appealing enough with all the little loot items sitting around, but there is a hidden wall, or a secret wall, right here, and it's a hallway that goes directly to the boss. So just gonna buff up real quick.
Oh, your secrets I must know.
So when you're playing through on normal, after you do the town's quests to like meet everybody, and you then go here to start your game, the quests are going to pick up again right after you defeat this boss. There's going to be an officer whose corpse is sitting right next to that table in the back of the room. So you talk to that, and that'll continue your quest line.
Now you die. Death's secrets are now mine.
So yeah, that shortcut that I showed you, that'll just make it so you can avoid all three of the switches. You just have to run right past those blades, right through the secret walls, and into the boss room. So anyway, that body would be right about here. And then it immediately tells you to go down this hallway and defeat this boss for the next part of the quest. And this guy, I would say he has the first actual gimmick. You'll do some damage to him, and then he uses one of his cultists to make him invincible. And they wave their hands like they just don't care. You can't kill them. They're invincible until the master calls on them.
A poor host, not suitable.
And then they all bum rush you once you defeat the master. They go down pretty quick. They're not too bad. And then you also have to talk to the altar to continue your quest line. I've already done it though. Okay, so this level is probably the best area to farm experience in Nightmare, if you want to farm this dungeon specifically. The way you would farm experience here is you would just go to the end, and right before you get to the boss, you go back to town and reload the last checkpoint. It'll start you off at the start of the floor. But this floor is relatively short, and it is packed with enemies and items. So it's really easy to just run through and farm a bunch of experience. I'm actually about to fill up my inventory here in a moment, so I won't be able to grab everything. But you'll still be able to see all the different, loot potential. And it's unfortunate that my inventory is full. The blacksmith, where you can sell items, is right after this. I'm still going to check items, though, because even though you have a full inventory, you can still pick up, like, dungeon fragments and stuff like that. Unless you're maxed out on those. There is a unique enemy right at the end of this hallway on the right. His name is Sludge. He doesn't do anything too fancy. Just wanted to check my items really quick, see why my inventory was full. But Sludge doesn't do anything too fancy. He'll just drop you like a weapon. There he is. Alright, onto the Rat King. Okay. Just gonna sell a bunch of stuff real quick. So this area, I'm going to show you a door that's currently locked and inaccessible. The key has not been correctly added into the game. So, not this door. You can open that door. So that door's locked, and I'll show you the guy that drops the key. He's right down here. Alright, so this overseer right here, he drops 3 keys. For some reason, he gave me 5. Once you come in here, pretty small area. Just kill everybody, take all the loot. But there's a switch, and that opens another door that's just a little bit harder. Right past the guys that we just killed for those keys. Okay. So much loot. Okay, so over here on the left, this is that door that we opened by throwing that lever. And then down here is more loot. But as they normally like to do, you know, the loot is the only, it's not the only thing in here. There's a secret wall. So yeah, like I said, currently this door is inaccessible. Definitely when we can open it, I'll come back and I'll film a new segment and show you guys what's behind the door. So there's a boss coming up. Not this next boss, but later on in the dungeon. There's a bug currently going on with the new patch. So the boss is actually going to be really easy when I do it in this playthrough. But I'll still I'll take the time to try and do it in the proper order. So this boss fight coming up is actually the first one that actually gave me a little bit of trouble when I first started the game. It's a 3-on-1 if you're solo, or it'll be a team fight if you have buddies. But there's a mage class, a ranger class, and a tank class enemy. So personally, I prefer to kill the mage first. And the mage and the tank have secondary transformations. The tank will turn into a spirit as he attacks you, and Portha will split into 2 copies, and only one of, or 3 copies, but one of them is ranger. The ranger just kind of hangs back and shoots you a whole bunch. So I like to prioritize Portha first, just because her clones hurt you too. So I take her out first, and then it all depends on if I want to kill Quinnan or Jalen first. Doesn't really matter to me. I think Quinnan goes down easier.
Death comes.
So yeah, after you kill the elders, they'll just persist as ghosts until the end of the match. So you definitely want to finish it up as quickly as possible. Do some jump puzzles. The first jump puzzle of the game. Okay, so this is the fight I was talking about that's bugged. You'll see that there's 2 sleeping ogres on either side of the room. This boss will summon them at different periods, and they're very aggressive and strong. So what I'm going to do is, when you hear the dialogue of him summoning them, I'm going to turn my attention to them. So it kind of seems like a regular paced boss fight. But yeah, currently there's a bug, and the devs just haven't fixed it. It's only been persisting for about 2 days. Okay, so I'm going to turn my attention to Zeru. This poor guy's just trying to sleep. little more. Oh,
Destroy
food.
these interlopers.
Okay. Alright, now just wrap this up real quick. Because he's just a big pushover.
Darkness envelops me. My debt is due.
Okay, so this floor. This is the most confusing floor, in my opinion. There's no puzzle. It's just a big maze. And this guy, Crypt the Thief, he has a 3-stage fight. You have to find him in 3 separate parts of the floor. You don't have to kill him. He disappears after a little bit. But if you find him in all 3 of his locations, he'll give you some loot. And Crick is what I would call your impromptu friend over time. He attacks you here, but he kind of helps you out later. So yeah, so I'm going to show you how to get the Crick locations down, and then after we finish up the floor, I'll just show you how big the floor is. But right before we do the boss, I'll come back to the beginning of the floor, and I'll show you the quickest path to just run right through it. Because this floor, you can essentially skip if you want. You can just run from the beginning to the end and ignore all of the BS along the way. So this boss, you have to destroy the ghost dwarves, and after you deplete their health, you have to destroy their sarcophagus, which surprisingly also has a back, because the rogue can backstab the sarcophagus. It's quite interesting. But yeah, once you deplete their health and then kill the tombs, you will have to turn your attention back to them and kill them one final time.
Why have you come here? The pain! Reginald, we're going home.
Okay, so now I'll show you where Crick is next. So this will be his second location. This area, it gets like a muddy floor and there's a lot of undead. This area, this is the most confusing part of the level. It's a big maze, a lot of enemies, a lot of items. So if you want to get good experience, I definitely recommend going through this area for that, but not right now. Yeah, don't go that way. If you wanna get lost, like your first time in here, go that way. But anyway, come over here. When you see this gate, you're gonna take a right. And then Crick's just chilling. Then we gotta do partial damage, and then he disappears. Just like the first one.
Crick,
Goes through about half.
be also Crick the Slayer. Me, take your treasure.
Okay. So we're not gonna see him for a couple minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and run around and kill a bunch of the guys and the loot on the way to Crick. But yeah, like I said, this floor is pretty big. Yes, don't go that way. That's the entrance. And like I said earlier, I'm going to try and take every route, show you guys all the corners. Hopefully get as much loot as possible, close to 100%. So, Crick's third location is going to be right over here. After you pass the sarcophagus, it's on the right. You'll see this tomb, this thing. He's hiding to the left of it. So you don't have to kill him here again. You just get rid of most of his health, and then he surrenders and gives you an empty treasure chest.
Stop hurting Crick. Crick not enemy. Here. Crick share treasure.
Okay, so over here, this leads into that, like, the muddy, undead area that I was talking about. And this whole place is a big maze. But I'm going to come over here. I'm going to clear out the rest of these guys right before the boss. And then I'll show you the big undead area. So this room's pretty easy to just pull everybody, run from one end to the other. I'll just kind of clump up nicely. Okay, so just gonna run through here. So right behind me, this way, this is to the boss. But I'm gonna show you the rest of this area. It's just loot and extra enemies, no bosses or anything, no secrets, just a bunch of undead. I will break everything in this dungeon for one bag of loot. Inventory's full again, so I've already filled it up twice, and I'm not even done with the dungeon. This room. Tossed around. Since my inventory's full, I'm not really too worried about farming these guys. Probably just gonna respawn. Yeah, so over here, that way, those are the swinging blades you saw earlier. That was at the beginning of the level. So we're just going to restart, and I'll show you guys how to speedrun the whole floor. Yeah, see? Right here is where, right where you saw Crick the third time. And then if you look down that hallway towards the swinging blades, that was back over to where you saw him the second time. So, from the beginning of the floor, right here, you're going to go left. And then you're going to go right. And then left. And then right over the booby trap. You're going to go down this hallway. And then here's where you saw Crick the third time, taking a left. Just going to go all the way to the end and take a right. And then take a left. Boom. Right there. Checkpoint. Took me, what, a few seconds. Easily the easiest floor. Easily the easiest. Wow. Nicely said, Chonky. But yeah, that floor is probably the most confusing in my opinion. I got lost a whole bunch. So this boss area, he also has a gimmick. This is the first boss with an immortality gimmick. In the sense of, you don't have to kill a minion to deal damage to him. You have to lead him over to a certain obstacle.
It's a pity that you killed my pupil, Cinemax.
So his little pyres light up when he's invincible.
There is no reason for us to fight each other, for I
Bring him over to it. I was able to do damage to him. You're not supposed to.
I shall drink of your blood and know you before your service to the Master begins.
My disciples call this the Crypt of Horrors. Come, let me show you why.
And you just bring him over to the pyre when it's burning, and it deactivates his immortality.
Centuries.
There's also a second boss in this room, right underneath Corvus. You can take the stairs, or you can take the real stairs. Just jump down there. But if you dodge right before you hit the ground, you take no fall damage. So this guy, the Shade Master, or Shade Maker, as you deal damage to him, he will possess different golems around the stage that are different classes. So there's a wizard, a warrior, and a ranger. I'm sorry, a wizard, a champion, and a ranger. And they each carry the proper abilities of each class. Oh, somebody just went live in my Discord.
And see the power my master has bestowed upon me.
Come on.
Come, heroes, and see the power my master has bestowed upon me.
The wizard's the easiest one to kill. Close call.
I was promised lies.
Okay, so we'll sneak past these guys and get out of here. So I believe there's 2 more floors. Sorry, 3 more floors. So this area There's two bosses here. To get to Lord Cinder, you have to throw enough switches to get him out of his cage. But I mentioned at the beginning of the video that there is going to be a boss behind a hidden wall mechanic, and that is going to be on this section. I don't know why I'm trying to loot everything, probably because I want to just get more Dark Moon fragments. Okay, so here's the first switch. But if you go to the end of the hallway, there's a torch that you can throw, and you get to start your fight against the dreaded Korganath.
I am Korganath. Feel the might of an arch-chieftain. Thank you, heroes, for ending this madness.
Okay, so once you're done with him, just run across the room, and we're going to throw the second switch. And in case you didn't know, the Death Lord is dead. Alright. Second switch down. Just got to make it over to the third. Another booby trap. Okay, so now Lord Cinder is at his cage. I could have opened all those boxes, but since my inventory is full, man, why bother?
You will burn!
I love the voice acting in this game. Some lines are really well delivered, and some sound super campy, and I don't know. To me, it's charming. Coming up on a blacksmith, and then after the blacksmith is going to be a boss named Karg. And Karg has a certain attack that has a couple different ways of dealing with it. Everybody has a right click as a parry. If you have a shield, you can hold it to block. But the parry works on Karg's rock throw ability, and the rock throw will do decent damage and stun you for a few seconds. So you can either parry the rock. If you're far enough away and you have ranged attacks, you can hit it with a ranged attack to blow up the rock before it hits you. Or if you're far enough away, I have been able to dodge it if I'm like clear across the arena when he throws it. But that's more of you know, you're not normally that far away. So that was me parrying it. I'll probably let Karg hit me on the next one, so you can see the effects of the stun.
Stop hurting,
Yeah, that's a good amount of damage and stun for like 3 seconds. And then this third rock thing is I wanted to back up and I wanted to hit it, but he kind of throws it at his feet.
God will break you.
But you can blow it in midair if you hit it with a ranged attack.
Master will save Karg.
Okay. So this boss, the boss of this floor, was recently nerfed. She's a giant like Banshee, and she has these Banshee sisters that heal her. So the upcoming boss, Lady Everline, she, before the nerf, the Banshees that she would summon would heal her at such a crazy high rate that you had to kill them before you could really hurt her. But after the recent nerf, the healing has been reduced a pretty sizable amount. So if your DPS output is high enough, you don't even need to kill the Banshees to kill her. And you don't even need to kill all of them if your DPS is not even that good anyway. So this is another area where you need to throw 2 switches. Okay. Gonna restock my shield. So normally, what I would have done before the nerf is I would have just waited for her to summon her Banshees. And then I would have killed them before even trying to hurt her. But since the healing's been reduced so much, I can go ahead and get some early damage in.
Assist me, sisters!
So yeah, I'm not even gonna bother killing all of them. I'm just gonna see how many I can get, because they're only vulnerable for a few seconds. Yeah, they used to have a lot more health too.
You have robbed me of my revenge. For that, you will pay.
Okay, and now we're on to the last floor. This is like a vampire area. We're going to run into 3 bosses before we find the final boss of the dungeon. And here's the first 2. It's a 2-stage fight. First you fight the Countess, and then a second boss comes in. Okay.
Why do you seek to disturb the Master? Your life is forfeit. Hey! Huh? Hey! Huh? Huh? Hey! Huh? Huh? Hey! Huh? Huh? Hey! Huh?
Okay. So the next boss also has a slight gimmick. I'm gonna get some items. It's a nice painting. That's a nice painting. Yeah, that's a nice painting. Okay, so the gimmick with this guy is he will every so often go into the middle of the room and he'll shoot a barrage of these like energy blasts at you. And you have to hide behind the pillars to avoid them. I'll show you. So here's him doing the attack. I'm going to use my shield just so I don't die. But he will do a whole bunch of damage with this move. If you don't want to get hit, just hide behind these pillars. It's really easy for a melee class to just get popped really quick. If you're fighting him in the middle of the room and he enters that stage and you're not ready for it, he could drop you almost instantly. But once you learn that gimmick, Varix goes down pretty easily.
The plague consumes you.
Alright, and with that, we are on to the final boss of the Crypt of Horrors. We're going to heal up real quick. We're going to restock our potions. Or reapply our potion buffs, I should say. So the first thing I'm going to do before I even bother targeting the Crypt Lord is in each corner of the arena there's a corpse pile, and if you don't destroy it, it will continuously spawn various undead ranging from skeletal champions to priests to marauders and assassins, all sorts of stuff you don't want to be fighting. This boss by himself could be enough of a pain with his damage and stuns. So you don't need a whole mob fighting you as well.
Your efforts are folly. None can defy my master.
So my recommendations for this fight, especially if you're lower level or less geared, you can't really parry any of the Crypt Lord's moves. So my recommendation is to just try and stay max health as much as possible. If you need to go buy potions at the town, that's not a bad idea. I like to use rejuvenation potions. They are a little pricey, but the big ones give you an instant 35% heal, and then another 35% over time. So once you get the Crypt Lord to half HP, he summons Karg. He's back, and he's a lot stronger than he was before. But just like before, you just take down Karg. It's just a big meat sponge, HP sponge. Gross. Meat sponge. Terrible product. Don't buy. Okay, and then once he's done, the Crypt Lord just gets right into the fight, punches you right in the face. So, at that point, make sure you're full health when you kill Karg. Because if you're squishy and the Crypt Lord stuns you right away, he could get a couple cheap shots in. All in all, though, this fight isn't too difficult. It is definitely the easiest of all the dungeon final bosses.
No.
But it's a great dungeon, I love it so much.
Millennia, through countless lifetimes. My death is meaningless.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching me run through the Crypt of Horrors on Nightmare. I'll be back to do the later dungeons. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. I love you.